Rohingya refugees living in shelters in Cox's Bazar in Bangladesh say they were facing aid shortage and harassment from Myanmar's border guards, even as an anticipated monsoon season looms in the horizon, compounding difficulties for the refugees.
Work was underway in Kutupalong camps to build additional infrastructure and drains to cope with potential heavy rains in the cyclone season.
We are part of a Kuwaiti delegation consisting of the Kuwaiti Red Crescent, Kuwait Fund for Economic Assistance, and some other charities to assist the relief operation, and in the meantime to try to help these refugees with more assistance.
Aid agencies were ramping up efforts to distribute aid packages, but residents said they sometimes do not get any water despite twice daily supplies. Elsewhere at the Tumru border, which separates Bangladesh with neighboring Myanmar, camp refugees said border guards have been constantly disturbing them. United Nations said nearly 700,000 Muslim Rohingya have fled Buddhist-majority Myanmar to Bangladesh since August 2017 after a crackdown led by security forces in Rakhine State that the United Nations and United States said constitutes as ethnic cleansing. The UK's International Development Committee said the situation for Rohingya would likely worsen, with heavy rains of 2.5 meters predicted to fall from June through August.
Syrian rebels began pulling out of several towns in their former enclave of eastern Ghouta, surrendering them to the government and leaving the besieged city of Zuma as their last bastion there.
Buses carrying fighters along with their families and other civilians started to leave the enclave after dark, the vanguard of a convoy heading into exile in northwestern Syria. It follows the departure of thousands of others on Friday from the town of Harasta in a similar deal for insurgents to depart with light weapons in return for giving up their territory. The buses queued at a crossing point before moving into the enclave along a road on the former front lines that had been cleared of barricades, debris and unexploded ordnance. There were scenes of celebration on the streets of Damascus as Syria rebels exit a besieged enclave in eastern Ghouta. The army's assault on eastern Ghouta, the last major bastion near the capital, has been one of the most intense in Syria's 7-year-old war, killing more than 1,500 people in a relentless bombardment with warplanes, rockets and shells. It brings President Bashar al-Assad to the cusp of his biggest victory over the rebels since driving them from Aleppo in December 2016, though they remain entrenched in areas of northwestern and southwestern Syria.
The FIFA Commission visits the football arena in Russia's Nizhny Novgorod to check on its readiness for the 2018 World Cup.
The delegation was satisfied with the development of infrastructure in the city, which included street renovations, expansion of the airport and the stadium. Chief Competitions and Events Officer Colin Smith said ticket sales indicated international audiences' interest in Russia.
As we've said, ticket sales have been very strong, very positive across all the stadiums and all the cities, and I think that again shows that the fans want to explore Russia, want to discover new cities and visit areas that they wouldn't maybe normally come to without being able to see the World Cup there.
Russia is set to host the World Cup from June 14th to July 15th in 12 venues spread across 11 cities, including Moscow, St. Petersburg, Kazan and Sochi.
A variety of flowers are in full bloom across China as the warm spring weather continues.
More than 1 million tulips of various colors have blossomed at a tourist attraction in Changsha district in southwest China's Chongqing municipality. The sea of flowers has drawn many visitors eager to celebrate spring. A valley filled with white peach blossoms and bright yellow rapeseed flowers amid a sea of clouds has created a spectacular sight alongside local ancient dwellings in Kinmen County of East China's Anhui province. Meanwhile, in Chongqing's Kaizhou district, over 660 hectares of rolling hills are brimming with plum trees in full bloom. Scattered amongst nearby communities, the flowers have created a wonderland for the locals. In central China's Hubei province, peach blossoms have bloomed across more than 600 hectares of a valley in Jingmen city and has attracted scores of visitors looking to capture the picturesque scene. In addition to tourists, farmers are also benefiting from the warm spring weather. Thousands of hectares of fruit trees are flourishing across Shijian County of eastern Anhui province. The farmers working in the fields amid the spring scenery all hoped for a good harvest. Finally, in southwest China's Yunnan province, dense crowds of seagulls have flocked in Kunming to relax in the warm spring air and to be admired by the locals.
And that's all we have for you right now. Thank you for watching. Have a very pleasant day.